Hello everyone! I wanted to talk about Marvel's Cosmic Invasion today because this was great. I recently just finished this. I mean recently as in a couple hours ago, and I wanted to kind of let it sit and simmer on my brain just to see how I felt about it. And honestly, this was really fun. I really enjoyed it. In fact, I haven't enjoyed a little brawler like this probably since, the last Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, and before that, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I have played some other ones, but none of them kind of scratched the itch of those two. And that actually does make sense because this game is made by Tribute Games, who also made the Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. And just like with that game, they did freaking fantastic here. There's a lot of fan service, a lot of great mechanics, and unlike Ninja Turtles, there is a lot more characters here. With the Ninja Turtles, you really only have a few characters that you really care about having in there. As long as you have the Turtles, April O'Neil maybe, and Splinter and things like that, you probably have a pretty solid game. But here for Marvel's Cosmic Invasion, you have a ton of characters to choose from, so they had to at least have a good amount of characters on the roster. And I was hoping personally for not just characters that everybody knows, but some more deep cut characters, and I think they struck a good balance between those two. And even familiar characters that you do know kind of have a different rendition that isn't used a whole lot. You can take Ghost Rider, for example, who isn't just, normal Ghost Rider, he's Cosmic Ghost Rider, who, if you do know anything about comics, is a little bit different. He's different. But on top of characters that, you may not even know, there are the classic characters like Wolverine, like Storm, like, Captain America, Spider Man, all of that good stuff. I was kind of disappointed that Hulk wasn't in here. We do have She Hulk, and she's probably one of my favorite characters to play as, but I really would love to see Hulk in this. I think he would have been a lot of fun. And it's weird enough, he's not even like in the story either, which I thought was kind of strange. But there are so many characters between the ones you play as and the ones you're interacting with in the story that I didn't really care all that much at the end of the day. What I cared about was the gameplay. Now, the brawler gameplay in this is, simple like a brawler should be, but it has enough depth and difference between each character that it does feel in its own category almost, because you kind of play this like you would a tag team fighter. As when you go in, you pick two characters and you can tag that character in, you can call them in for special team moves, and you can basically have different traversal methods and different things that each character is good at. Take one of the lesser known characters that I really like playing as in this, and one of my other favorite characters to play as, Phyla Vell. She, when you get her and unlock her character, has the ability to just teleport to the other side of the map when you throw her sword there, giving her much more mobility than other characters. And one of her main special attacks leaves an orb that damages enemies over time and kind of stuns them in place for a while. And no other character really does that the same way. And that kind of variety in the characters is very nice in a game like this, where you do risk each character feeling a little samey to all of the others and just kind of being a different skin or speed or whatever have you. The story in this was also pretty cool. It was not like super deep. It is like, older style arcade games are, with, a small intro to a level. You have some things said and done throughout the level, and then a little small outro cutscene. And they all exist to kind of move you through this universe, to kind of just give you excuses to see the next big bad, of which there are some big bads that don't get a lot of attention these days. So I really was excited to see some of these characters, especially Null. And if you know about Null, you know his origins with the symbiote are very interesting. And it was a huge surprise to me that he was in this. And it was so cool to even fight as Venom against him on his level. Great stuff. I just wanted to make sure that no one really missed this title, as things like this really stood out to me. And I think a lot of, fatigue around the superhero stuff lately, if you do have that. Personally, I kind of feel like It doesn't really exist. I think we just all want good superhero stuff, not just the same shit. But I think this is a real good palate cleanser. I think this exists in a very good place right now. It's not too long, it's not too short, and does have some replayability going for it. So I do think most people should give this a try. It's on Game Pass if you want to just play it there, but I think I would recommend just buying this outright. I think this is a really enjoyable game and one that you can maybe revisit to level up characters and unlock certain things throughout the campaign. And hopefully in the future they do release some more characters and more stuff for it. I would love to see that. Anyway, I know this was a short one, but this is not the longest game either, so I just wanted to say a few things about it. And I will also have my complete playthrough of Cosmic Invasion up on the channel here in the near future if you just want to kind of peek in and see what it's all about. Until then, like the video if you enjoyed this, subscribe if you want to see more from me or you want to see what I'm up to in the future. I will talk to y'all later, hopefully. Peace.